The gate slammed shut. They were trapped, and the ghosts were waiting. They heard whispers in the dark. What if the place you walked into already knew what you did? It knows your guilt. It knows your lies. And it's coming for you. Chapter 1. The iron gates slammed shut behind them with a sound that echoed far too long. Okay, that's not funny, Lucas muttered, turning around. He grabbed the bars and pulled. They didn't budge. Did anyone see who closed that? No one, said Mara, hugging her arms tightly. We all walked in together. A cold wind swept through the overgrown path, though the trees hadn't moved a second ago. The estate loomed ahead tall, rotting, its windows dark like hollow eyes. Great, Ethan sighed. Classic horror setup. Strangers, creepy house, locked exit. What could go wrong? Shut up, whispered Claire. Don't say things like that. They hadn't planned this. A wrong turn, a broken road, and then the estate appearing out of nowhere, like it had been waiting. Now there were 8 of them. Lucas, Mara, Ethan, Claire, Jonas, Eliza, Victor, and Naomi, and none of them could leave. The front door creaked open on its own. Nope, Jonas said immediately. Nope, absolutely not. We can't stay outside, Naomi replied, her voice shaking. It's getting dark, and you think inside is better. He snapped. Victor stepped forward. We don't have a choice. The air inside smelled like damp wood and something. Older, something rotten. Chapter 2. As the last of them stepped in, the door slammed shut behind them. A lock clicked. They didn't notice the whisper at first. It came like breath against the ear. Lucas! He froze. Did you hear that? He asked. He shook his head. But the whisper came again. Clearer. You left me. Lucas stumbled back. Who said that? The others stared at him. I didn't say anything, Claire said. Then a figure stood at the end of the hallway. A woman pale, drenched, her long hair clinging to her face. She took a step forward. Water pooled beneath her feet. You promised you'd come back, she said, her voice layered with the sound of rushing water. But you didn't. I tried, Lucas stammered. The current was too strong. I couldn't. You let me drown. The others watched in horror as the temperature dropped sharply. Lucas, what is she talking about? Mara demanded. His face broke. I left someone behind. Years ago. We were swimming. She got caught in the current. And I ran. The ghost smiled. Now you can stay. The hallway flooded instantly. Water burst from the walls, the floor, the ceiling. Lucas screamed as invisible hands dragged him backward. Help me. Mara lunged forward. But Ethan held her back. You can't. Lucas's fingers scraped against the floor. Then he was gone. The water vanished. So did the ghost. Silence. No one leaves alone, Victor said firmly, his voice trembling despite the authority. That thing it knew, Eliza whispered. It knew what he did. It's not random, Claire said. It's targeting us. For what? Jonas asked. No one answered, but deep down they all knew. They moved into a large parlor, the air thick and suffocating. A mirror stood against the far wall. Naomi froze when she saw her reflection. Only it wasn't quite her. Her reflection smiled. Naomi didn't. Guys, she whispered. The reflection tilted its head. You always lie so well. Naomi staggered back. Stop. What did you tell them? It continued. That it was an accident. I didn't mean to. The others turned. What is it? Mara asked. Naomi's voice broke. My sister. We were arguing. I pushed her. She fell down the stairs. The reflection stepped out of the mirror. You didn't call for help. Naomi sobbed. I was scared. You watch. The ghost lunged. The room went dark. When the lights returned, Naomi was gone. Panic erupted. Chapter 3. We're going to die here. Jonas shouted. Calm down. Victor snapped. We need to think. No, we need to run. There's nowhere to run. Claire cried. The house groaned, as if agreeing. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time twisted inside the estate. One by one, the ghosts came. Jonas was dragged into the walls by Shadowy, hands whispering about the brother he betrayed. Eliza vanished into flames that no one else could feel, screaming about a fire she started. Victor faced a figure in a suit himself accusing him of ruining lives for profit. Each secret peeled away. Each guilt made real. Finally, only two remained. Mara and Ethan. They sat on the cold floor, backs against the wall, too exhausted to speak. I think, Ethan said quietly, it feeds on guilt. Mara nodded slowly. Then why are we still here? A soft laugh echoed through the room. A child stepped out of the darkness. Small, pale, smiling, because, it said, you haven't told each other yet. Mara felt her chest tighten. Told. What? The child looked at Ethan. Ethan's face went white. Mara, he whispered. There's something I need to tell you. Her stomach dropped. What? That night. The accident. Your brother. Her blood ran cold. No, she said. Don't. I was driving. The world seemed to tilt. You said it was a hit and run. I lied, he said, tears streaming. I was drunk. You asked me to drive, and I said I was fine. I wasn't. I hit him. And I ran. Mara couldn't breathe. You let me mourn him for years, she whispered. I was scared. You let me grieve a lie. The child clapped slowly. Beautiful, it said. The air turned icy. A new figure appeared behind Mara, her brother. Broken. Twisted. Mara, he croaked. She turned, trembling. I didn't know. But you do now. The ghost reached for her. Ethan stepped in front. Take me instead. The child tilted its head. Oh, we will. The floor split open beneath Ethan, darkness swallowing him whole as he screamed. Mara was left alone. The house fell silent. The child approached her. You're different, it said. Why? Mara whispered. You carry guilt. But it isn't yours. Tears streamed down her face. I trusted him, she said. The child studied her. Then slowly it smiled. The gates will open. Chapter 4. Morning light spilled across the estate. The gates creaked wide. Mara stumbled out, shaking, hollow. Behind her, the house stood still, watching, waiting for the next group of strangers. Mara didn't remember walking down the path. One moment she was standing before the estate. The next she was beyond the gates, knees buckling as gravel bit into her skin. The morning light felt wrong, too pale, too thin, like it didn't belong to the same world. She turned back. The estate stood silent, empty, as if nothing had happened. She reached the nearest town by noon. People stared, not because of the dirt on her clothes or the hollow look in her eyes, but because of what she said. They're still in there, Mara insisted, gripping the edge of the cafe table. The house, it takes you. It knows things about you, things you don't tell anyone. The waitress exchanged a glance with a man at the counter. You're talking about Blackridge Estate, he said cautiously. Mara froze. You know it. He nodded slowly. People go missing there. Always have. And why is it still standing? Why doesn't anyone tear it down? The man gave a humorless laugh. They tried. 3 days later, Mara stood with a small group at the edge of the forest. Police officers. Investigators. Even a demolition crew. You stay back, one officer told her. I'm not leaving, she said flatly. The gates were open, just like the child had promised. Victor's car still sat abandoned nearby. The others' belongings were scattered along the path. Proof. They went in. Hours passed. Then night fell, and no one came out. The gates slammed shut again. Mara didn't scream this time. She just stared. "They're gone," she whispered. A hand touched her shoulder. She flinched violently, but it was only the same man from the cafe. "You should leave," he said. "No," Mara said, her voice distant. "It let me go for a reason." That night, Mara checked into a small motel. She locked the door, closed the curtains, sat on the edge of the bed, staring at nothing. For the first time since escaping, she was alone. Truly alone. And that's when she heard it. A soft knock. Chapter 5. 3 slow taps. Her blood froze. "No," she whispered. Another knock. "Mara." Her breath hitched. That voice. "Ethan." She backed away from the door. "You're not real. I'm sorry," the voice said. "Please, just let me explain." Tears filled her eyes. "You already did." Silence. "Then, you never told them either." Mara froze. The voice had changed. It wasn't Ethan anymore. It was the child. Cold, playful, knowing. Her heart pounded. "Told them what?" A pause. Then the whisper slid under the door like smoke. "The truth." The room grew colder. The mirror across the bed fogged up slowly. Words began to form. "You left him too." Mara shook her head violently. No, that's not true." But the memories clawed their way back. That night. The accident. Ethan driving. Her brother in the road. The impact. The silence after. She had screamed. She had told Ethan to go back. But when he hesitated, she had said it. "Just drive."
Her voice cracked as she whispered it aloud. "I told him to run." The mirror cleared, and her brother stood behind her. Mara didn't turn around. "I didn't know what to do," she whispered. "You knew," the ghost said softly. His voice wasn't angry. That made it worse. "You chose." Tears streamed down her face. "I was scared." So was he. Her breath shuddered. "I thought, if we told someone, everything would be ruined." The ghost stepped closer. "And now," Mara let out a broken laugh. "Now everything is ruined." The lights flickered. The walls creaked. The motel room shifted. The wallpaper peeled away like rotting skin. The bed sank into the floor. The air filled with that same damp, suffocating smell. "No," Mara whispered. Outside the window, the forest. It was back. It had never let her leave. The child stood in the corner of the room. "You were never meant to escape," it said. Mara's legs gave out.
"Then why let me go?"
"To ripen the truth," the child replied. "Guilt grows stronger in the light." The floorboards groaned as dark cracks spread beneath her. "You carried it quietly," it continued. "Now it's ready." Her brother reached for her. "Mara," he said gently. She looked up at him, shattered. "I'm sorry." The child tilted its head. "That doesn't save you." The ground split open. Cold hands dragged Mara down into darkness as she screamed. The last thing she saw was the child's grin, widening impossibly. Morning came. The motel room was empty.
No sign of Mara.
No sign of anything unusual. Back at the estate, the gates stood closed once more. The wind whispered through the trees. And somewhere deep inside,
Voices echoed.
new ones. Ones. The same. Waiting. Weeks later, a car turned down the broken road. A group of strangers stepped out, laughing, arguing, unaware. One of them hesitated at the gate. Hey, do you guys feel that?
What? Like, we shouldn't be here. Another rolled their eyes. Relax. Just an old house. The gates creaked open. Slowly. Inviting. And deep within the estate, the child smiled again. Welcome, it whispered. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe for more. And those who already liked and subscribed, thank you so much.